Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. A very different view from when I talked to you this morning. We've got lots of blue sky and sunshine right now in that live look at Owensboro. Our temperatures are really comfortable and fall-like out there as we've got clearing and cooler weather behind the cold front that brought us storms last night and some rain even lingering into this morning. But now we're on alert for another round of storms Friday night that may linger into Saturday morning. But once that clears out of here, we've got beautiful weather in store for most of the weekend. So Friday night, that's when we're in that marginal risk, a level 1 risk, and could see some damaging winds or hail, maybe even a tornado if things come together just right. But it is a low level risk, so there's also the possibility that this doesn't come together and it ends up being a lot like last night, where we just get some rain, some thunderstorms, but nothing severe. It could really go either way, but we want you to be prepared just in case we do get severe weather. We had that cold front swing through the tri-state last night into early this morning. That brought us rain and thunderstorms. That has all pushed off to the southeast now, though. The tri-state mainly sunny. We still have a few clouds lingering just over Hopkins, Muhlenberg, and Ohio counties primarily. Any remaining clouds will continue to push off to the south. And whoa, I forgot to put pause points in that. Hang on just a second. It's just running away on us. Okay, let's walk through this a little slower. Okay, so we've got these clouds that are moving out. It'll be mainly clear this evening, and it stays mostly clear through the overnight hours and all the way into Friday morning. Then as we go through the first half of the day on Friday, still mostly sunny. Again, just walking you through this nice and slow here. Mostly sunny all the way up through lunchtime on Friday. Then Friday afternoon, that's when that next cold front starts to come in. We start to see some clouds initially. So we cloud up Friday afternoon, then the rain follows the clouds. So by Friday evening, there's an isolated chance we could maybe get a spotty shower or thunderstorm. We'll keep an eye on that because even if it's isolated, depending on where it pops up, that could impact some Friday night football games. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. But really, it looks like the chance of any sort of widespread rain or severe weather would be primarily later into the night, mainly after midnight, as this additional rain comes in very late Friday night and maybe even lingers into early Saturday morning. Then that rain tapers off pretty quickly Saturday morning. I mean, I think by about 8 a.m. or so, we'll be dry and already have clearing skies. And then really it turns sunny again by lunchtime on Saturday. And then we have a lot of sunshine in the forecast from that point on. As for our risk of severe thunderstorms, there's a level 1 risk stretching from New York all the way down into Tennessee. That's along that cold front that moved through the tri-state last night, so that's moving away from us. But notice this little spot of green up here in Minnesota and Iowa. That's that next cold front that is going to then push to the south into the tri-state. So for today, that risk of thunderstorms still way off to the northwest. Even during the day tomorrow, I think we're mainly okay. This risk of strong to even severe storms really pushes into our region Friday night. So we've got that isolated chance of some thunderstorms Friday evening. Those are then going to intensify as they move eastward. So those are what's developing and causing that level 2 risk there from Ohio and West Virginia down through much of the state of Kentucky and into northern Tennessee. But here, really, those storms are going to kind of get started here and then move eastward. And then we see kind of a second wave of rain moving through the tri-state. But by then, it really looks like things are going to be weakening out. It's going to be the middle of the night. Things are going to be cooling down. There's just not as much energy left in the atmosphere. So while it is certainly possible, we could see an isolated strong to severe storm, especially in western Kentucky. I really think the better chance of severe weather is going to stay off to our east this time around, more so into central Kentucky. Then by Saturday morning, there's still that chance we could get an isolated thunderstorm, mainly in western Kentucky early Saturday, but in general, things will be clearing as we go through the day on Saturday. So aside from an isolated shower or storm really early in the morning, most of Saturday is actually going to be pretty clear. As for the individual threats, anything is possible Friday night, but none of it's likely. There is a very low level risk of any kind of flooding. Heavy rain really not a concern with this system. We are sitting at that level 1 risk, mainly on the southeastern end of the tri-state for wind, hail, and even a brief tornado. So wind, hail, tornadoes, all possible if these storms manage to come together just right. But again, it's also very possible that they won't, and this will end up being just run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. We just want you to be prepared for the possibility that these storms could become strong or even severe. I mentioned we're not real concerned about flooding. It doesn't look like these storms are going to have a lot of heavy rain within them. Most of us will probably pick up between 1/10 and 1/2 inch of rain. Up to 3/4 of an inch may be possible if you get caught under a thunderstorm with a good downpour, but again, that's not a widespread concern. And honestly, we need the rain. We are currently in a moderate drought across much of the tri-state. We got some good soaking rainfall overnight into this morning, but we could use more. So looking forward to getting some rain. Hopefully no severe weather with it, but we will be grateful for the rain, that is for sure. As for our temperatures, sitting in the low to mid 70s in most locations right now. What a difference. Yesterday we topped out in the upper 80s, but today we're running about 15 degrees cooler than that, sitting in the low to mid 70s right now. It is a little warmer in Greenville at 77. It's 73 right now in Evansville. I do think we'll tack on just a couple more degrees this afternoon. Most of us will top out somewhere in those mid 70s later today, but still really cool and fall-like feeling out there, and then we'll drop back out of the 70s and through the 60s this evening, eventually bottoming out in the upper 50s to right around the 60-degree mark by the end of the night tonight. Mostly clear and fairly calm winds during the day today. Right now we've got this cool, dry air coming in from the northwest behind that cold front. The winds kind of die down overnight, then tomorrow they pick back up coming from the southwest. So tomorrow, sunshine in the morning, warm breeze from the southwest. That combination is going to push our temperatures back into the mid 80s tomorrow afternoon. But then we've got that cold front moving through Friday night. So that warm air will then feed those thunderstorm chances that brings us that first alert weather day Friday night. Then as that tapers off Saturday morning, much like what we saw yesterday to today, Friday to Saturday, we see this big drop in our temperatures again, with highs dropping back into the mid 70s over the weekend. The cool down does not last though. We warm back up into the upper 70s, then low 80s as we go through the first part of next week. And by Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at highs in the upper 80s again, and that warmer air may hang around for a little while. The extended outlook from Friday, September 12th up through September 18th does show a trend back toward above average temperatures. I don't think it would be totally out of line to say we may not even be done with the 90s this year. I wouldn't rule it out that we could see one more little wave of heat as we go through the middle of this month. Nothing like what we dealt with in August and July, but still upper 80s, maybe even some low 90s possible by the end of next week. But notice we also see a trend toward below average precipitation. So we got some rain last night. We've got another shot at rain tomorrow night. Then it kind of dries out again, and we may not see much rain at all through the entire middle part of this month. As for the tropics, for those of you who are curious, we do have an update on this storm that we've been tracking off the coast of Africa as it continues to push westward there across the Atlantic. It's been upgraded again. It was at a 70%, then an 80%, now at a 90% chance of becoming a named cyclone. So it's very possible that here rather soon we will be tracking Gabrielle in the Atlantic. Switching over to the Pacific though, on the complete other side, we are tracking Hurricane Kiko. It is currently a Category 4 hurricane, very strong, but it is headed right toward Hawaii. The good news is it's expected to weaken along the way. So it is still going to be a Category 4 storm through the end of this week, but then through the weekend and into the start of next week, it really is expected to weaken out. And by the time it gets to Hawaii, it's expected to be down to just tropical storm strength. So still windy, still a lot of rain, still certainly impactful for those who are in Hawaii, but nothing like the Category 4 storm it is right now. So thankfully it is expected to weaken significantly by the time it gets to Hawaii. So here's just a recap. Again, really beautiful sunny fall-like day out there right now. Tomorrow we warm back up, mid 80s, Then we've got that cold front coming through, mainly overnight, Friday night. We've got this chance of thunderstorms. Some of them could be on the strong side. Gusty winds, hail, even a tornado can't be ruled out, but it's not likely. More likely than not, these are just going to be run-of-the-mill showers and storms, but there's that possibility that they could become severe. So I just want you to be on your guard. Make sure you're paying attention to the weather. Have your alerts turned on just in case. Then on Saturday, this clears out rather quickly. By Saturday afternoon, it'll be sunny again with highs in the mid-70s, sunny in mid-70s, beautiful day on Sunday. Then we start to continue to warm back up then with highs back into the upper 80s by the second half of next week. But notice from Saturday afternoon forward, we're talking about a lot of sunshine and a lot of dry weather across the tri-state. So be thankful for the rain while we've got it, and here's hoping it doesn't come with any severe weather. Hello to Dale and Hillary. Yes, Susan, definitely thankful for the rain we got last night. Becky, I agree with you, though. We need more rain. Judy, I don't think we'll get the kind of high heat and humidity that we had over the summer in September and October, but certainly through the middle part of September, we could warm back up. It could be very similar to like yesterday, where if you're out in the direct sun, upper 80s, you know, it still feels kind of hot, but it's not going to be dangerously hot and humid like what we saw this summer in August and July. I don't think. It's unlikely that we get that kind of heat this kind of late into the year, but still much warmer than you would expect. Not the fall-like weather you would expect as we get later into September. You're welcome, Eve. And Tori's asking, how bad do I think tomorrow will be? Honestly, I'm not real worried about tomorrow, but I want you to be prepared just in case. That's why we put that first alert weather day on the board. I think the most likely scenario is that the severe weather stays to our east. The storms fire up here, but really don't turn severe until they head farther east into central Kentucky. But there is that possibility, especially if you're in western Kentucky, that we could get an isolated strong to severe storm tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. So again, just make sure you know where to go, what your weather safety plan is, you know where to go and what to do if a warning is issued, and how to get that warning. Have your first alert weather app with you wherever you're going to be tomorrow night. Have those alerts turned on with the sound on so that you hear it if it goes off, and be ready to move if a warning is issued. But more likely than not, we're probably going to get through just fine, but I want you to be prepared just in case. But Tori, I think more than likely we'll be just fine, and most of this is going to stay to our east. We want you to be prepared just in case, though. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, but don't go anywhere. Jamie French and Robinson Miles will be right back with your latest news headlines.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. Now, as we get further into this Thursday, we have a lot of very fun stories around the tri-state today, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. First off, the LST 325 took off for its fall voyage today. The historic World War II ship was originally expected to leave tomorrow morning, but instead departed Evansville this morning around 11.
Yeah, the LST moves out of Evansville every year to stop at port cities on the U.S. river system. Officials say they will be stopping at 3 different ports. Those include Muscatine, Iowa, Alton, Illinois, and Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Now, the LST is expected to be back home on our riverfront in Evansville by Friday, October 3rd. So don't miss it too much. She will return.
You know, I'm always the one looking for the silver lining here, and I'm going to say the silver lining of this situation is there is so much road construction on the riverfront.
That's true.
That I will be less sad
You will not
since I
even
won't
know
be
that
driving
it's gone
by.
because you
right?
can't drive by. Yep.
Because it weirdly bums me out so much when
I
it's
do
gone in the
enjoy
fall and it's not
driving
there.
down Riverside and seeing the LST.
Yes.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's like a piece of the skyline is gone. It
Yeah.
is the weirdest sensation.
It sure is.
All right, well, moving on to another big fall staple. We are finally getting a look at this year's West Side Nut Club Fall Festival Munchie Map. Now, the Nut Clubbers released it today, and it features over 130 booths with all of the familiar favorites from deep fried foods, apple cider, brain sandwiches, and, of course, those famous Pronto Pups.
Oh, absolutely. We were also concerned that we were told there would not be a donut burger this year, but we just inspected this Munchie Map a minute ago in the newsroom, and we found a booth with a donut burger, so that is safe. The festival on Franklin Street runs Monday, October 6th through Saturday, October 11th. The famous half pot tickets will go on sale October 2nd. You can head over to 14news.com now. You can check out that full map. Start planning your food adventure. I always write down what sounds the best, so I have a plan when I go down there.
Oh, you got to have a game plan.
Yeah, got
if you
to.
just go in half-cocked, you're not going to get all the stuff you want. Now, I got to circle back to one thing you said. If people wonder if we really are in tune with the tri-state and the happenings and everything, I get to work at 2. When I walked in, she says, oh, we were all worried about it. They were.
Yeah.
Everyone in the newsroom talked about this for like a solid 15 minutes.
We were worried about the donut burger.
Yeah, with notes of pure stress. There was
Yes.
nothing playful about
Absolutely.
this.
Especially our West Side residents in the newsroom in there. They were
yeah.
really worked up about the Munchie Map.
They had strong opinions. So, yeah, you are not alone. We feel for you.
Yep.
I was concerned. I thought something terrible had happened. And in a way, it had. But
Yes.
we worked it out.
We did.
We're okay. All right. Final thing. Very important day, everybody. Football is finally back. The
Sure
Eagles
is.
and Cowboys will officially kick off the NFL season tonight in Philadelphia. There's a live look for you right now where all the action's going to happen. All the magic of this year's NFL season kicking off today.
All right there in Philadelphia. We've got a lot of live coverage happening from that stadium there in our shows tonight. Coverage will start at 6 with kickoff at 7:20 tonight. Because of that happening over on NBC, we will not have a 6 p.m. show here on 14 News, but you can catch us on our streaming platforms and on 14news.com. We'll pop on there so we can give you just a little bit of your top news headlines in case anybody's not super interested in football and you'd rather see us. We get it. So we're here for you.
Oh, we get it. 100%. I like to think if you're missing us so much, it's like,
Yeah, you can just get on your app
You're
or
not
get
gonna
on your
miss
streaming
us.
and find us if
Right.
you miss us. So.
See, there we go. Love that. Well, of course, we've got all those stories and a whole lot more ahead on 14 News at 4, 5, and 6 on our streaming show. And then, of course, later tonight, 14 News at 10.
All right, thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.